be writing expressions to represent the phrase. So you'll be writing those out. So you're going back to your Algebra 1. Geometry, we do this as well. You've seen some of these in geometry. For number 1, it says the width of a rectangle is 6 meters less than its length. The area of the rectangle is 112. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. First, what's the area formula for a rectangle? Base times height, or they're using length and width, so I'm going to call it length times width. Then they told us that the width of a rectangle is 6 meters less than the length. So the width becomes W equals, the width is 6 meters less than its length. Well, whatever it's being compared to, so whatever the second part of it is in there, is going to get the x value. Okay? So whatever we're comparing it to gets the x. How do I write 6 meters less than its length?
X minus 6.
X minus 6, very good. Remember, you have to put the minus 6 last to get x minus 6. Everybody okay so far? All right. So now we know it's area is length times width. Well, what is our area? 112, right. I'm going to reverse this, and I'm going to do length times width and set it equal to 112. We could have wrote 112 first and set it equal to x times x minus 6. But that's our initial setup. Any questions so far? Once you get it set up, it's now what we've been doing all along. So what would I have to do to solve this equation first? Before we even do that, that's good, but before we do that, distribute, very good. So we're going to do x squared minus 6x, and it's equal to 112. It's not in standard form yet, so what would be another step we'd need to do? Very good. So the x squared minus 6x minus 112 is equal to 0. What I want you to check first, because we have a b term, I can't do the square root method, but I may be able to factor it. So let's go ahead and factor it. What are your factors of 112, negative 112, that would give us a negative 6? Go ahead and look on your sheet, your factors of negative 112 that would give us a negative 6. Oh, no, you have to do it on your own then. You could do off to the side 112. Start listing the factors like 1, 112, 2, and 56. And keep on going until you get it. Remember, we need to get negative 6. It's 8 and 14 actually. Ever said that? Which?
7 gives 9.
Yes.
Well, I thought we were supposed to know factors.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I just wanted you to find them. I understand now. Abby? 14 and 8, yep. Which one needs to be negative? Very good. So we're going to have x minus 14, x plus 8 equals 0. From here, tell me the two values of x. 14 and negative 14. Very good. Now does that, both of those, do they make sense for our problem? No. So how do I determine which one is the correct value?
Whichever one is real.
Whichever one's real. What were you going to say, Aiden? Same thing?
I was going to say length can't be negative.
Exactly. And you have to be careful with this because depending on what your expressions are will depend on which one you choose. Most likely you need the positive one. Because if you plug in a negative 8, that would give you a negative value for something that's measurable. So clearly that one won't work. But if we plug in this, we'd have 14 minus 6. What is 14 minus 6? And we're in meters, right? 8 meters, and then the length would be 14 meters. Good. So before we cared about both of the values, now we have to look at which one actually makes sense. Everybody okay with that one?
Will it always be that the factors, both of them will be the length? Because this one is 14 and 8, and then the factors were 14 and 8.
Where did you get the 6
Often.
from?
Often.
Okay.
But not every time. What's that?
Where did you get the 6 from? Just
X minus 6.
Okay.
Because it was 6 meters less than the length. Any other questions before we move on to number 2? Alright, number 2 says the length of a rectangle is 1 foot more than twice its width. If the area of the rectangle is 300 feet squared, find the dimensions of the rectangle. So first, looking at how it's written, which one is going to get the x value? Very good, because that's written second. I'm going to write it on top this time. You don't have to do that. So the length of a rectangle is becomes equal. So now I need to write 1 foot more than twice the width. 1 foot more than twice the width. How do I write that in an expression?
X squared 2 times x.
Yeah.
Parentheses plus 1.
I told you he was here.
2x plus 1. Twice, 1 more than twice the width. Everybody okay with that part? Alright. So from here we know that the area is 300 feet squared. So what do I write first? How do I set up my equation?
Right, it's just the same as the last one.
Yes, same as a rectangle. So what do I write?
X parentheses 2x plus 1. And equals 300.
Very good. What do I have to do to solve it? Distribute again. I'm going to go ahead and subtract that 300 at the same time. So I would get 2x squared plus x minus 300 equals 0. I did all that in one step this time. Alright, so what do I do now to solve? We're going to factor, and I think I heard it already. Flip and slide, right? So we're going to flip that 2 down. So x squared plus x minus 600 equals 0. What are my factors of 600? That gives me a positive 1. I should say negative 600. That gives me a positive 1. Go ahead and figure it out, and then I'll write it out. Factors of negative 600. That gives me a positive 1.
25 and 24.
Very good. It's 25 and 24. So we would have x plus 25. X minus 24. We gotta pull that 2 back out and then divide by 2. This is not going to reduce, so we're going to write 2x plus 25. 24 divided by 2 will be 12. Very good. So you have 2x plus 25 and x minus 12. Then set each of them equal to 0. 2x plus 25 equals 0. I'm going to go ahead and just write x equals 12 here. Alright, so the other one I'd subtract 25. Get negative 25 over 2. Which one do you suppose is the right answer? Well, yeah, you have to have the positive. So the width would equal 12. The length is 2 times 12 plus 1, which would be 25. Oh, I forgot my units. We're in feet this time.
You're gonna mark us off, we don't have
Yeah, it would be partial credit. What time is it? 12:45. Yes, Madison?
Can I go down and give an ID?
Yes. Let's do one more. Number 3. The dimensions of a rectangle can be expressed as x plus 6 and x minus 2. The area of the rectangle is 65 inches squared. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. This one feels a little bit easier to me. What do I have to do now?
You take x plus 6 equals 65.
Say that again.
You take x plus 6 equals 65, and then you do x.
We have to do one more thing to the x plus 6. Yeah, we're multiplying the dimensions. And then that gives us our area, and they told us the area is 65. Alright, so this one in some ways is easier because we went ahead and were given the length and the width. Doesn't matter which one's which, really. From here, how do I solve this? What do I need to do? Kayla?
You have to foil.
Yep, we got a FOIL and they get that 65 over, right? So we would get x squared minus 2x plus 6x minus 12 equals 65.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
But it would be x squared plus 4x minus 77.
Minus 77 is perfect. So we combine the middle terms and went ahead and set it equal to 0, which you can do that in one step in this particular problem. All right, our a value is 1, so we just have to find our factors of 77. Negative 77, that gets us a 4.
11 and 7.
Very good, 11 and 7. Which one's negative?
The 7.
What are my two values of x then?
Negative 11 and 7.
Very good.
I have to say 7 one more time.
You're tired of saying 7?
Yes.
All right, which value makes more sense? So now we have x, this can be our length and our width. Doesn't matter which one you choose. So 7 plus 6 gives us, and what's our units inches? And our width is 7 minus 5, which gives us
7 minus 2.
7 minus 2 equals 5. Thank you. It was too good to be true to not make a mistake. So negative 11 would give us a negative dimensions, which we can't have when we're measuring. All right, how's that all feel?
Good.